Akoy, Agau, Josh Carlton on the jump, and Agau tips it back to Jamal McMurray at his SMU ball. Today's starting lineups are brought to you by Aaron's, and for SMU it is McMurray, the junior, the transfer from South Florida, the top scorer on this team, in the absence of Shake Milton and Jeray Foster. And Akoy Agau throws it away. Terry Larrier for Connecticut on the run out. Adams there, and he missed the tip.
Good push right there. You see Connecticut starting off in a man-to-man. Both of these teams are playing more zone the latter part of this year than the coaches really want to, but because of injuries, because of lack of depth, we're going to see a lot of zone from both teams today. But Uconn starting off in man-to-man. There's Agau with a follow after Josh Carlton blocked Jimmy Witt. For Connecticut, Adams, Christian Vital, and Antoine Anderson, the guards. Terry Larrier is graduating. He is going to forego his final year of eligibility and attempt to go pro. So Larrier could final Uconn game today. That is brought to you by Aaron's as well. Important to emphasize what you just said. He will graduate, though. He is graduating this year. Up the air ball inside from Carlton, SMU basketball. Mustangs were 15-7. The loss of Shake as it relates to his points, but he's a leader of this team. He inspires the other guys. Not having him out there. Missed 10 straight. Jeray Foster also out for the year. The best defensive player, second leading scorer on the Mustangs. Talking to the folks at SMU earlier today, their SID, Herman Hudson, informed us that no other team in the nation has had two 13-point-per-game scorers miss at least 10 games this year. And Foster was the heart and soul of their defensive efforts. He's a young man that literally can guard 5 different positions. He can guard every player on the court. Tough, athletic. They miss him and what he brought to the defensive end of the court as much as they miss what Shake brought to the offensive end. First Uconn basket for Mamadou Diarra, the redshirt freshman at Queens, with Carlton quickly out of the game. Uconn will rotate these young bigs in and out. McMurray a step back. 78% chance to make the NCAA tournament. They lose to Uconn. They beat East Carolina, and Milton goes down in that game. And now SMU's only hope is to run the table and get a miraculous finish to this season. This is the regular season and postseason American champion last year at 17-1 in conference, but they have been wrecked by injuries. Ben Amelagu, the senior, well defended. Amelagu will take a three and bury it. Young man who's playing with a severely hampered right wrist, but it didn't seem to bother him there. No, and that's a good sign for SMU fans, because you said it's hampered. He hasn't been taking shots. He's been open. He hasn't been taking long shots because that wrist has been bothering so much. So it's good to see him step up and bang his first shot. Antoine Anderson with backing off of him. They've noticed that he's not taking perimeter shots. And the amazing thing about that is we had SMU a couple of months into the season as Agau finishes off the feed from Lynn. Amelagu is shooting around 60% from 3 nearly 2 months into the year, and he still leads the conference in three-point percentage at 47.5%. But he has had to play every game because the Mustangs have just 7 scholarship players available. Diarra with a putback. He has the first 4 for Connecticut. You know, I want everyone to keep an eye as this game goes forward. Which team wears down first? Both teams are very thin, playing small numbers. And you know, right now, SMU is off to a good rhythm, playing with a lot of energy. Just hope that for their sake, if they can maintain that throughout the game. If Connecticut get on the run, then can they maintain it? Both of these teams have worn down the latter parts of games, mainly because of their numbers. The Uconn team has played without Tariq Gilbert most of the year. McMurray tipped away by Vital, one of the best stealers in the conference. Larrier got it from Christian Vital, 1.5 steals per game. Top 10 of the American there. And Uconn turns the takeaway into a basket. You know, we see both teams picking up forward with very different points of emphasis. SMU is just trying to slow down Connecticut and make them kill clock. Uconn is coming after SMU, trying to cause turnovers.
Jamal McMurray on the board for SMU. 19 points per game since Shake Milton went down.
He's averaging almost 19 a game. The last game, though, he only had 7. And with their diminished troops, he's going to have to score more than 7 for them to have a chance.
Christian Vital, 14.5 point per game scorer for Uconn, the sophomore out of Queens Village. He has stepped up big time this year with the loss of Tariq Gilbert, who was one of the Huskies' starting guards. Played just 6 games, out for the year with another shoulder injury. Two teams with higher aspirations coming into the season, both picked to be in the top 5 in the American. Elijah Landrum misses a 3. The rebound bounces off his foot, and Meligu tracks it down.
Akoy Agau has been extremely active these first couple of minutes of this game. He's really playing well, making his presence felt.
McMurray, another tough 2. He is a mid-range master.
I don't know, man. He might be a mid-range, long-range, you know.
You're right, I'm underselling.
With Shake going out, he's really been free. That's the best way to put it, just to show his whole repertoire of scoring ability.
Long sustained run of play. We have yet to hit the under 16 media timeout. And we won't there as Larrier falls on his keister after a missed shot. SMU has shot it well early, and Meligu cannot get another 3. Agau active again. Adams snatches the loose ball. Poked away by Witt. It's Vital with a contact. In his 6th year as head coach, what's his future? Something that the athletic director, David Benedict, has said he will evaluate after the year.
Through the years, like regardless of what the regular season has brought, this is a fresh start. And just stay in the here and now and stay focused. And as you indicated, I mean, this program in the American as well as when they were formerly in the Big East has shown year in, year out that come conference tournament play, they can take that fresh start attitude. They can reinvent themselves and play well. And so for the Huskies' sake, hopefully they can do that today.
Now, the Huskies' success the last 4 years in the conference tournament, is that something you think can translate to the 2018 version? Is there a confidence?
I'm sure the old players are calling them, giving them the confidence to understand that they can do it. Now, this group has to step up. This group has to do it.
Oh, for Uconn, is that a fairly strong end to the regular season translates. A nice win at home over Temple. In a game they led for a good chunk at Houston. They did succumb to the Cougars at the end, a Houston team that was unbeaten at home this year on the final Sunday of the regular season.
You see pushing off right there, fighting for post position. And then expect them to drop back to the zone. They start off in man. They're in the zone.
A little shape-shifting kind of defense.
Well, actually, I think half the guys were in man, the other half were in zone. I don't think they knew what they were in.
Terry Larrier. Jimmy Witt colliding with Shagwa for the rebound, and Witt rips it away. William Douglas on the floor right now, along with Shagwa, the 2 freshmen off the bench. We've seen all of SMU's 7 available scholarship players in the game. Meligu with a feed to Witt, and Nora was there.
You're going to see if Uconn stays in that zone, SMU is going to continue to try to set a ball screen up top and then attack the middle.
And Adams attacks that very portion of the floor for the layup.
Well, I've been waiting for that. I mean, he's had some penetration and dropped off passes. He's playing very unselfishly, but for them to win, Uconn's going to need him to be a little more selfish than he has been so far in this game.
Second in the conference in scoring, 3rd in assists, Adams. Those are his first 2. McMurray with a 3.
And let me correct myself. I don't mean selfish. I just mean a little more aggressive.
McMurray with 7. Appropriately aggressive for SMU as Honora knifes his way through.
Big fella. I didn't know he was that agile. Slide around there for that nice little reverse.
Ethan Shagwa left alone for a triple. And Uconn has suffered some early defensive breakdowns.
Don't be fooled by Shagwa's size and build. The first team all-rookie player can step out on the perimeter and make that shot with consistency.
Larrier not even close meanwhile. Tough shooting start for Larrier, who was 1 out of 5. He's a high-volume hoister for Connecticut's. Douglas out of control. Adams, Honora, denied. This is a frantic tempo early, and McMurray makes Uconn pay. He has 10.
I told you, you said mid-range, short range, mid-range, long range. He's just achieved in the past. You know, Coach Mick Cronin of the regular season champ Cincinnati Bearcats has been extremely outspoken about how in the past, particularly last year, he thought their seed was too low. Well, I think they went out and took care of business this year.
You see right there, the highest seed ever received in the first 4 years of the conference was Louisville in its 1 year in the American, and Joe Lunardi has Cincinnati 2 full seed lines ahead of that, with Wichita State on the 4 line. Cincinnati won the outright championship Sunday with a 1-point win in Wichita. Agau back on the floor for SMU, double teamed. Douglas the good extra pass, and McMurray a rare miss.
But so far, his activity, his energy has gotten him several second shots. And a couple of occasions where he did not secure the rebound, but he was able to tip it to his first possession. But since then, he's been making the right decisions.
Here he is again. SMU playing through the grad transfer. Louisville for a couple of years. You had him at Georgetown, first year at SMU. Beautiful feed there. Shagwa missing the open 3. SMU playing with both bigs on the floor right now. Larrier another miss. Adams the rebound. Hit from behind by Douglas. And
by Agau right there. Both groups competing. Someone out because they're not performing as you would like. SMU, most of their subs now are just rotating to try to keep guys fresh, to put them in a position at the end of the game to play at a high level.
But did you say Little Billy?
Yeah, Little Billy. He's over there somewhere. Hadn't done much today.
Who are you talking about with Little Billy? Shagwa.
Man, that has a great feel for the game, can do a little bit of everything. Sometimes, as of late, he's fallen in love with the perimeter shot, but he can also good touch with both hands. He can go down on the block and do work also.
See David Collins in our next game for South. Douglas 17 of 22 at the line this
year. Larry is going to be out there. Vital is going to be out there. And then he just kind of rotates the other 2 spots to see who's playing well, who's giving him something on any given night.
Uconn has missed 5 shots in a row, part of a 10-2 SMU run. Adams creates space, and Anderson misses everything. Uconn 0 for 5 from 3 to start. Elijah Landrum with 7. Shagwa, no. Douglas, yes.
Good effort right there.
Douglas has played hard with his increased minutes after all these injuries, and he has rebounded well, the 6'5" freshman guard.
Well, you have SMU here in the postseason competing, winning, and they have 3 freshmen on the court. Now, I know once you get to this time of year, they're not a freshman anymore.
Huskies missed 6 of their first 7 shots, made 5 of their made basket. Just ask the folks down in Louisville.
So mean.
Just
so mean. Come on, man.
Hey, you know what? Louisville's got a chance at redemption today. Louisville, Virginia going on in the ACC tournament as we speak.
They looked good yesterday against Florida State.
Cardinals hoping to get in. Right now, Joe Lunardi has 9 teams out of the ACC. Anderson gets a little teardrop to fall.
You know, Uconn only has 15 points, but they've been getting decent shots. The ball just hasn't gone in. They're doing a good job of creating penetration off the dribble as well as off the pass. The ball just hasn't gone in. Mr. Larrier right now is 1 for 7, so he has to snap out of his funk.
First points in 4 minutes, 20 seconds for the Huskies. Landrum. Shagwell wasn't quite ready for that one. On the floor. Coming off the big upset over NC State, trying to spoil the party. And then the big one tonight, Notre Dame Duke. Jimmy Witt with a 3. Jimmy Witt had 2 threes last game. He now has 6 on the year. He did not attempt a 3 in his first 13 games of the season. There is Isaiah Whaley off the feed from Patel.
And this Uconn team, Coach Ollie's begging them to pick up full court. Every time they score, they keep forgetting to get into their press. They have to have a faster conversion from offense to defense.
Not the time of the season to be missing those sorts of assignments. Win or go home. Shot the ball 17 times this season high, 6 of them from 3 in the loss to South Florida Sunday.
So maybe, as coaches, you always want to see kids, their games develop and grow as the year goes on. Maybe Jimmy just decided to add that to his game late in the year.
7th start in the last 8 games to Nebraska. He's played at Louisville. He said he played for you at Georgetown, now with SMU.
I'm telling you, don't think I'm crazy. I think it's the headband. I think it's the headband that's giving him superpowers.
Did he wear that last year for
you? And he hasn't worn it this year.
I don't
This is the first game he broke it out.
Vital.
There we go. See, Uconn has consistently gotten to that spot. That's where you want to get. They're getting there, and then they're making a decision, do I shoot or do I kick it out or do I drop it off like we just saw a few possessions ago for the dunk? So they're getting the ball where they need to. Now they just have to start making more shots.
Agau wants it again. Beautiful cross-court find. Landrum rainbows hit a 3. Biggest lead right now for SMU, which has controlled this first half. Vital missing a deep one.
Or are they going to continue? Do they realize, hey, we've been getting good shots. Continue to work the ball around, attack the paint, and play out of that.
It's a Uconn team that averages under 10.5 assists per game, last in the conference. A lot of isolation basketball, including there with another Larrier miss. Anderson sneaks in, though, and the graduate transfer from Fordham puts in the rebound.
And then let's do a little bit of that. Let's not just depend on our half-court offensive score. Can we get some offensive rebounds for putbacks? Can we get some defensive rebounds and turn those into transition opportunities or steals?
Witt matched up with Honora. Anderson jumps back out of it. SMU, one of the slowest tempos in the country. They don't mind to get it deep in the shot clock.
A bid thief. Did you make that up yourself?
No, that's a term. You never heard that term?
Hey, man.
You didn't immerse yourself.
They're going to have to be a team that's playing well right now and did what they had to do at the time that they had to do it.
I'm just going to shorten it to 2 words. You didn't immerse yourself in this bracketology when you were coaching, did you?
No, we were focused on what we had to do.
Yeah, I was focused on terms like bid thief. Antoine Anderson.
A 4-foot shot for a 3-foot shot.
Larrier off the iron, and Amelagu has the rebound. Uconn 0 for 6 from 3. Larrier is 1 for 9 from the field. SMU, meanwhile, has shot it better from deep. 6 of 11 from 3, 5 of 13 on 2s. Landrum a 3. That's way long. Amelagu with the offensive rebound. Anderson well defended, but Amelagu fights to get it back.
Look at that stick-to-itiveness from Amelagu. He had that ball and lost it about 3 times in that one possession. Stays with it, ends up with a layup.
7 offensive rebounds for SMU in the game. And Meligu grabs another defensive one. Meligu with 5 and 5, playing with a right wrist that has been ailing for the better part of the last month of play. Hasn't missed a game because SMU can't afford him to. McMurray. Jamal McMurray taking Anderson to school. He has 12.
Whoever's guarding him, you're going to have to sit down because he's going to hit you with 5 or 6 different moves. I mean, it's not like he's going to guard one move. He's going to hit you with one, and hit you with another, and then hit you with another, and keep going until he has some success. Down the other end, Larry with the putback. That's how you break out of this shooting slump that he's in. Instead of just chucking up more threes, go in there and get some offensive boards.
Uconn has a couple of subs at the table, but may not get a chance to get him in. We're down to the final 53 seconds of the half. Meligu for 3.
Meligu for 3 with the banged up wrist with the assist from Akoy Agau.
Vital. 7 seconds between shot and game clock. Quentin Williams is on outright American Conference Championship. Awesome way to end the season, the regular season. And we're hoping for a terrific conference tournament back in Orlando for the second time. Agau off the slip. Akoy Agau. 10 points in the first half for Agau. Season high is 13. His career high is 14.
Young man came to play today. He's gotten that slip 3 times.
Adams lost it.
Didn't have a lot of deflections. They were the aggressor, and then take away their threes. They did a good job of shooting the ball, and Jiggets did a super job of controlling the tempo of the game. Well, that's where we hurt some without Jeremiah Martin. We don't have that point guard that can really pressure the ball like he did.
How pleased have you been with your team defensively over this run? I know the offense has been good with Bruton. What about the other side of the ball?
Well, it picked up against East Carolina, but against South Florida, we were very poor. You know, we didn't rebound the ball well. We got back to, as I said before, being a little more aggressive, being more physical, and it usually shows up in the rebounding stats. You know, that's where it usually shows up, and I thought we did a much better job in that area, getting through screens. We really had a tough time negotiating and navigating the screens against South Florida. You know, Brian Gregory and his team did a great job. Their staff did a great job of having them ready to play.
Memphis and South Florida coming up next for Tubby Smith's Tigers. Tubby, thank you. Appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you.
The head coach of the Tigers, whose team will get USF at the 5-12 game. A couple of baskets for Uconn. Meanwhile, to start this second half, Terry Larrier with a bucket. Take a look at our first half stats brought to you by Aaron's. SMU red hot from 3, and Uconn has not hit a 3-pointer in the game. It was a great first half for the Mustangs, who led by 19 at the break, but Connecticut has started this second strong as Larrier skies for the slam.
They've come out rejuvenated as Uconn. All 3 baskets have been right in the paint. I tell you what, though, you saw that halftime stat. You know, first half, Uconn goes 0 for 7, I believe it was, in the first half, and SMU makes 7. I mean, that's the difference right there.
Rejection by Diarra, and Meligu lost it. Aggressive defense for the Huskies. Vital from Anderson. That's 8 points in 4 possessions to start this second half. And Witt is bumped by Asian game, SMU and Uconn. Neither of these teams has postseason play in its sights at the moment. Beyond this, you'd have to go on a run, win this American Conference Championship. These are the last 2 teams to do it. Uconn in 2016 on this floor as a 5 seed. And SMU, the conference champion last year at 17-1. Jamal McMurray, another tough shot. That one no go. And a high rebound of Vital, a high dribble, a burst, and a foul.
And they're blowing out and creating opportunities for themselves before SMU can set up their defense.
Is that a matter of scheme or activity from what you've seen?
I think it's both, to be honest. I mean, the first half has been much higher than it was the entire first half.
Christian Vital, second in the conference, 84.6% free throw shooter. And Vital hits both to make this a 10-2 run to start the half.
And they also have switched up. The first half, they were in a zone press, Uconn. It was an aggressive zone press. Now they're just hard man-to-man across full court.
Larrier didn't give him room to breathe. Second foul against Amelagu. Jalen Adams only 2 points in the first half. That is a tough one. And McMurray comes out of the fray. McMurray missed a three. Amelagu got the rim, but not the ball. Huskies have numbers. Adams from Vital. No. Tip. Yes. Diarra with the follow, and the lead is down to 9.
Hustle. Defense is leading to offense. They're being aggressive now. Let's just forget it, man. Let's just go after it.
Anderson doing to Witt what Larrier did to Amelagu. Jimmy Witt trying to make something.
A blase, let's just get this half over. I don't know what Coach Ollie said at halftime, but this is a new group here.
Oh, to have been. It is a funky delivery, to say the least.
I'm not going to take the bait. It's a very funky delivery.
That's not taking the bait?
No. Nope.
You know what? It's mostly effective. He shoots 50% from the field. It's 1 of 2 at the line. And there's a steal by Amelagu. Took it away, the Adams feed. Landrum with the finish and 3 quick ones for the Mustangs.
Gave them a little taste of their own medicine. Steal at the defensive end leads to a run-out layup. See, this is where Connecticut, they haven't had to play against this set defense that much so far this half. The first 5 minutes of this half so far, everything's been out in transition.
Missed 3 by Vital. Diarra playing a one-man tip drill, and Witt has it.
And I say that to say, when they do have to play against that set defense, let's get more movement. Different touches, change sides of the court, move the ball, move the bodies, then look to attack.
Anderson with a strip. And the finish.
But their pressure is really bothering SMU. You know, a lot of times when you're playing against teams that are coming after you as hard as Connecticut's coming after them, you can't run your sets. You just have to be a basketball player. Pass, move, cut, share the game. It's hard to script a lot of times when you're getting suffocating pressure like SMU's receiving now.
SMU has 4 turnovers and a half, at 3 the entire first half. They go to McMurray for an answer. He has 16 to lead all scorers.
Get more movement. Get more movement.
Diarra. Anderson the assist. Amadou Diarra had not scored in 4 of his last 5 games with the ever-rotating carousel of Uconn bigs. He's played well. Mick Cronin and company with an excellent finish to the year, that great win at Wichita State.
And let's see if SMU can show some composure. They had 3 turnovers the first half. They have 4 already the first 5 minutes of this half. Or just give it to that guy. Tell him to go.
How in the world did that go in? McMurray, that is ruled to be a 2. He now has 16. And you look at Jalen Adams, the second-team all-conference player, second leading scorer in the league to Jeremiah Martin. 2 of 7 for 4 points. Another Uconn turnover. Chagwa. Amelagu with a tip out. Landrum Johnny on the spot. Amelagu from McMurray. Beautiful ball movement for the Mustangs. The lead back to 15.
McMurray creates a second shot. They reward him with the jumper in the corner. Connecticut has to put a body on him. Connecticut needs to get some movement right here. Last possession, they got it where they wanted it. Oh, come on. They got it to Larry right in that spot. He's trying to dribble. You can't dribble in the middle of that zone.
McMurray. That would have felt like an early dagger had it gone down. McMurray with his second assist on that last basket with the unselfish play. Melagoo has hit 3 of 4 from deep. Again, playing with right wrist tendonitis.
This looks fine today, doesn't it?
It certainly does.
That wrist looks fine today, baby. He's snapping it off nice and pretty. Success, but most of it has not been successful. All of it's been on the perimeter. He needs to get inside a little bit.
That's what they've wanted him to do all year. They like his skill, but to rebound more, to back guys down, develop a post game. Look at Landrum's hands, another takeaway. Out of control, McMurray. And Melagoo hits his 4th 3.
It's a game of runs. Connecticut comes out on fire. SMU gets a timeout. They clearly have settled down. They go on a run. Now, how can the Huskies respond? There's plenty of time in this game.
They've cut the lead to single digits, back up to 18. Melagoo. Shagwa with a tip. McMurray is there for a fresh 30.
Now, Uconn has to start boxing out or rebounding. Like Charles Barkley said, sometimes you need to box out and just go get the ball. He didn't quite say it like that, but SMU is getting tips in second and third shots.
Don't need it there.
And it's leading to that.
Last year, he told the Mustangs 6 co-starters as he deemed them. They'd have 6 players rotate in and out of the starting lineup before Melagoo came to him and said, I will come off the bench. Volunteered to do so. Won the 6th Man of the Year award for his 17-1 regular season team. And it says something about the character of that young man and the toughness that with a right wrist that has just terribly bothered him for a few weeks now, he has not missed a game. He's barely missed a minute. And he's playing as if there are no ill effects today with 14 points, 4 of 6 from 3. You mentioned against USF on Sunday, Bulls were sagging off of Melagoo. Uconn has not had the opportunity to do that today. Vital just hit a 3 of the game. We're wondering if Uconn might go 0-4 from 3 for the first time in more than 300 games. But
press that they started out the second half with. I think fatigue set in for a few minutes, and as soon as it did, SMU went on a run. But let's see if Connecticut can pick these back to that lineup where they have 3 freshmen on the floor.
And Douglas Landrum and Shagwa, along with the junior McMurray and the senior Melagoo. 3 for 3 for Vital, second best free throw shooter in the league.
And they bring the heat again, meaning Uconn picks up full court. It's going after him.
Murray. This catch by Melagoo. Huskies aggressive but haven't picked one yet. Shagwa, Landrum, out to a Melagoo. No, I believe that was the original foul call. The officials just changed because the official did signal the number 20 to the scorer's table. Which led to some confusion because there's no 20 for Uconn.
Okay, I see.
Larrier in the middle of that zone. That's a clean look.
That's a clean look. That's the look you want. Just didn't go down.
Offensive rebound. Diarra keeps the possession. Vital from long range. He has scored the last 9, 2 threes, plus the 3 free throws after being fouled in a 3.
Now, on that, Diarra has to get back up and guard his man. You can't let Shagwa be the outlet. Your guards are working their behinds off trying to pressure the ball. You just let Shagwa walk up and catch it.
Twice, Uconn has surged to cut into a big SMU lead. The first time the Mustangs had a major answer, extended the lead to 21. Shagwa from deep.
I don't think that's the shot Coach Jankovic wanted.
Anderson had to adjust in the air with a help defense, and Shagwau's there for the takeaway. Might be the time for the Mustangs to slow it down some, or not. Melagu attacking on Anderson's second. Melagu 68% of the line. It's conceivable that all 8 teams you just saw on your screen could make the tournament. Certainly Oklahoma State has to win today. This is what Joe Lunardi has, with Texas and Baylor clinging to the edge of the field. Oklahoma down to the last 4 in, which is just about inconceivable compared to where they were a month ago. And Oklahoma State just out of the field right now, first team out.
Yeah, but as you indicated, I mean, Oklahoma State has beaten Kansas twice this year. And if they can win a third time, I think that last out moves them right in.
I think they'd be almost impossible to ignore that.
Correct.
Some losses that are not great, but the profile with 3 wins over Kansas will be clinging to the edge of the field. You'd have never believed it because of some of their great...
A lot of opportunities for losses also. And those 2 teams, that's what's happened to them.
Agau has just tied a career-high 14 points for Akoy Agau. And SMU has scored 4 in a row after the 9-0 Uconn run.
See, the difference between Agau and Shagwau is Agau gives them a little bit of presence on the interior, whereas Shagwau is mainly just playing on the perimeter.
Patel with a miss from deep. Rebound to Josh Carlton.
Good hustle to get a second shot by Big Josh.
Good defense there by McMurray. Didn't go 51. Worst Tigers home loss in nearly a couple of decades in that game. Memphis and USF coming up after this one. Nearly a turnover out of the hands of Melagu into the hands of Jimmy Witt. This is where SMU can get you. Mustangs play at the 15th slowest tempo in the nation. So they don't mind taking the shot clock down inside 6 or 5. William Douglas chases down his own miss.
Once again, SMU, a faster team to the ball, making the hustle plays, coming up with the second opportunity.
Agau has not missed a shot today until now.
Come on, man, you jinxed him. You did that on purpose.
I was waiting for it. He had gone all Christian Laettner on us, 4 of 4 from the field, 6 of 6. Hope to get him from Larry, or a 79% free throw shooter. Missed both of his 3-point tries, and he misses his first free throw.
1 for 2 from the line. As you said, they're running out of time. They have to make something happen at the defensive end right now.
Agau. Murray will not push 1 on 2. But now he will penetrate. Agau with a hesitation and stuff.
Akoy Agau. He was sipping from the fountain of youth last night.
You act startled by it.
Hey. Nice
it's as
penetration.
if you've seen something different.
Good drop off right there.
He has set a career high now with 16. Going right back to work on Whaley. Agau with the left. It's Akoy Agau's world. We're all just living in it.
Too big, too strong. And he takes the charge. Depending on how the next 6 minutes go, they might have to do this again tomorrow.
Rematch with Cincinnati at noon if SMU wins it. That, of course, was the American Conference Championship game last year. Bearcats with the number 2 seed. And this year they won the American outright for the first time.
And as you said, SMU is extremely comfortable playing with a short clock. They don't get panicked. A lot of teams just panic when the crowd starts saying 9, 8, 7. They're used to that.
Patel with a leak out. Anderson found him. Shagwau contested. Larrier, yes. Transfer from VCU. Again, is not going to use his final year of eligibility. He'll graduate in May with a degree in Urban and Community Studies.
start running and jump, just trying to double the ball handler.
Shagwa the take over Diarra, playing with 4 fouls, and Larrier cleans it up. In transition, Larrier way off.
Got to make a better decision if you're Shagwa right there.
On that drive for SMU, you mean?
Yes.
Anderson with a snatch and the dunk.
Communication, if your man leaves you to go double, you have to start screaming and hollering to let your teammate know, and you have to present yourself so that he can throw it to you. Once again, the bigs for Uconn can't keep letting Shagwa and Agau get open. The guards are working too hard for them to just let their man keep popping up to relieve the pressure.
Scramble drill here. Nobody got Landrum. Shagwa actually knocked the rebound away from a Melagu, so Anderson comes away with it. Diarra's in deep, and Shagwa goes straight up. Shagwa looks a little tired right now, but we're going to get the under 4 break at the next whistle. Everybody looks a little tired.
I was getting ready to say, we have 10 guys on the court that look a little tired right now. Who wants it the most? Who can fight through this? Who can fight through fatigue? Who can execute when you are tired?
SMU has never trailed in this game.
Beginning, his energy from the first 2 minutes of the game gave SMU a big boost.
In all seriousness, you had him last year at Georgetown, and we've seen him in person a bunch this year. Is this the best you've seen him play?
No, it's not the best I've seen him play, and I like joking around with Akoy, but you know, he's had so many injuries. It's been hard for him to show what he can do. He's injured now. He's beat up now. Throughout his career has always been hurt. Once again, Agau's the outlet, Shagwa's the outlet. The Connecticut bigs aren't helping their teammates out.
Well, that's the way that Uconn's day is gone. SMU gets a 4-on-1 break after the Huskies are all over the ball. Vital does answer.
No, I just want to point out again, once again, that was Agau with a nice little dipsy-do up and under layup. He's open again. You can't let him keep being the outlet. The guards are working too hard in the press for Diarra to keep letting whoever's in at the 5 for SMU to be the outlet.
Melagu decides not to take it in on Diarra. Pull it out, take some time.
Smart decision.
Winner of this game.
Smart because you get to the point of the game where you're competing against if you're SMU, you're competing against the clock as much as you're competing against Uconn. You don't want to become completely passive, but you want to work some of the clock.
Melagu misses a 3, and it is Cincinnati awaiting. Adams, and Uconn is not dead yet, folks. Jalen Adams knows a thing or two about big shot. The loss of Tariq Gilbert early. And the question has been around Uconn, will this be it for Kevin Ollie in his 6th year with the Huskies? His team has cut a 21-point lead down.
Starters, one and a third rotation player. This year, he was preseason rookie of the year, and he might end up being preseason rookie.
Second round games for you on ESPNU or ESPN2. Huskies have cut a 21-point lead down to 8. McMurray fumbles the ball, tipped. Agau is there. And again, the call was that Vital tipped the ball, which would negate that potential 10-second. Either way, it is SMU ball. The Mustangs are going to burn some more clock. Agau. It's Landrum. Tough shot, nearly found its way. Agau fighting for the ball, and Adams has it. Vital on the attack. It's a 6-point game.
We got a game, ladies and gentlemen.
You foul here, you play it out. Doesn't matter. A Melagu from Agau.
Now I've seen Akoy do that a lot. Dribbling, hit the guy, cutter back door. They were screaming to foul Agau.
Anderson fouled and
make these 3 foul shots. Try to get a quick trap and then foul right away. Quick trap if you can. If not, Foul. Last possession, they were screaming at the team.
Who's on the floor? Witt is the one you'd want to foul.
So that takes away one of those options to foul.
McMurray is the best free throw shooter. Witt will get it to Agau, and Diarra fouls Agau. Akoy Agau for 2. His career high was 14 coming into today. He scored 21 as he splits the pair. 3-possession game. Vital, the attack. Agau, the denial. Anderson with a 3. What a way to start the American tournament. Down to the wire in game 1. Shagwa does go long. Witt feeds Amelagu. There's the... Boy, Witt's got to get it in. Amelagu tied up again. SMU is one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the league. 68% as a team, which is 10.
Vital, Adams are going to attack the rim.
Mustangs 13 for 17 at the line today. 2-possession game if both are 3s. Anderson attacks Shagwa.
Every shot, on every foul, both teams are shooting 2.
Anderson has more than 2. Anderson gets both. 4-point game. Amelagu. And he is immediately fouled. 4 for 4 from the foul.
The other players off the line, just so the Uconn guys cannot get a running start ahead of them once they meet them at half court.
Might be a 22-hour ice bath if SMU hangs on to this. They'll get Cincinnati with a win. Larry
Oh, every part of the rim.
SMU Asian game.
They pulled everyone off the line again. Witt probably will stay up if he makes it, so he can't just roll it over.
Yeah, he will. Adams, down 8. Rebound to Douglas. Amelagu. And that's going to be
such a major part in that record over the last 2 years. We were something 2 years ago, and then they've had just massive, devastating injuries to them.
Still a 3-possession game if there are 3s. Vital cuts in for a quick 2. Christian Vital played a strong offensive game today, but it will not be enough. Uconn is going home. SMU is moving on.